What's up everybody, today is a very special day for me. I've got the hands on the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3 and I'm one of the few people in Chennai who have got the hands on this device only for you to experience it with me. So this deserves a subscribe, right? So please subscribe to my channel. And I've also done my first hands-on video on Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3. I'll link it over here and below the like button. This is Shash-Wat and you're already watching Shash for the Tech. So let's get started. Let's get the unboxing out of the way, shall we? This is the box for the Z Fold 3. Yes, it is pretty slim, which means that there is no charger in the box, which is pretty disappointing. Let's get it unboxed. We get the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3 itself, a Type-C to Type-C cable, some paperwork and SIM ejector tool. Pretty simple unboxing if you ask me, nothing special over here. On the right we have a power button which has the fingerprint scanner built in. Above that is volume rockers and dual SIM card tray. On the left we have the hinge with Samsung branding. On the bottom we have one of the two speaker grills and a USB Type-C port and primary mic. On the top we have the second speaker grill and 3 mics. When folded we have 6.2-inch AMOLED display with 120Hz. The last Z Fold had a 60Hz cover display and it's great that they now have 120Hz display. Also we have a 10MP selfie camera. On the back we have triple 12 megapixel cameras, one wide, one ultra wide and one telephoto. Wide and telephoto being optically stabilized. When opened we have a huge 7.6 inches AMOLED Infinity Flex display with 120Hz, and most exciting part of this display is the under display 4MP camera, which is just mind blowing. I've always thought the S lineup will get this first and the Fold would get it at the end, but this is always a welcome upgrade. Honestly, this is my first time holding a folding phone and my god, it feels so premium. Just hear this. Amazing, right? And the Z Fold 3 shares essentially the same design as its predecessor Z Fold 2, and it's not really bad, but there are a lot of changes like the boxy design. It feels more like an iPhone, honestly, and the cover display is finally 120Hz, which is amazing. As you can see, the crease is still noticeable, but then it is not as intrusive as the Z Flip 3. I'll tell you more about it in that video. But then we are still using one of the halves at one time, and after a point of time you won't even notice it. It will be as if it is not even there. Let's get the specs out of the way. It is powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 5G, Android 11, One UI 3.1. It has a 4400 mAh battery, fast charging 25 watts and wireless fast charging at 11 watts. Okay, as I mentioned, I have never used a folding phone before this, so I can't really compare it with past Samsung devices. But all I can say is this feels really premium. Samsung claimed to have used its strongest aluminium called as armored aluminium, and the display, the main display, is about 80% more durable than the last device, which is great. The most surprising part for me over here is that they have added IPX8 rating, which is resistant towards water to a certain level. Yes, just water, not dust, because it still is very much affected by the dust. Why? Because IPX8, the first letter is actually meant for dust resistance and the second letter is only used for water resistance. For example, Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra has IP69 resistance, which means it is fully water and dust resistant, whereas this is only water resistant. I mean, if you have learned something new, then I do deserve a like, right? And if you already know this, share it with someone who did not know this information. Let's go ahead. There are a lot of improvement when it comes to durability. I mean, they have added Gorilla Glass Victus, and the main display is about 80% more durable than the last Z Fold 2. And the best part is that they have added support to S Pen, and I still have my doubts about it. I mean, yes, Samsung should have been really confident to take this move, but then The main display is still really very soft and it leaves mark just by your nail, which makes me question everything. But then that's something I'll really have to test and wait for that. Also, since it's IPX8 resistant, which means it's water resistant, and keep it away from the beaches and dust because those can still damage your display. The performance is amazing. I've played a couple of matches of COD, BGMI and Asphalt 8 and it hasn't heated up once. Also, except for COD, you can play pretty much any game on the cover display, which is interesting. The battery size has gone down from 4500 mAh on the last Z Fold 2 to 4400 mAh. I reserve my thoughts on the battery life because I haven't been able to test this for a long time. Before we talk about the cameras, let's talk about some of the features what Fold offers. There are few features that I love. For example, there is a Windows taskbar like feature on the home screen which lets you pin a taskbar on your home screen, but I haven't been able to try this. For some reason it is not available on my device. There is also flex mode which lets you flex the display and use it as a stand. For example, you can use it as a stand to take selfies or group pictures, use Chrome and YouTube together and more. But my favorite feature is multitasking, which makes everything easier. You can open and multitask multiple apps at a time and save so much time. In the labs section, you can force any app to multitask, which makes everything so much easier. Honestly, they should convert this into Note and name it as Notebook. Oh wait, that could actually be possible. Hey Samsung, if you're listening to this, make sure this happens, and this was my idea. Let's talk about these cameras. There are 5 cameras in total, 3 to the back. All these 3 are 12 megapixels, one on the cover display 10 megapixel to use as a front camera, and on the main display we have a 4 megapixel under the display camera. Let's get right into the interesting part. Yes, the under display selfie camera. Yes, it's 4 megapixel and it takes hazy shots. I mean, if you take the picture and open it fast enough, you can literally see Samsung running background processing to dehaze the picture, to over sharpen it and make it contrastier. But that's the point, that's a trade-off you actually have to give when you have a under display camera. But the fact is over here that it is much more difficult to put in a under display camera on a softer, fragile display than putting it on a traditional glass display. And I think Samsung takes a win over here. Yes, the 4 megapixel main camera, the main display camera is good for Zoom calls or other video calls. But the next interesting thing starts over here. You can literally use all the 5 cameras as your selfie cameras. Let me show you how. So over here, I can literally take selfie from the main display, which isn't that good, right? But then over here I have a selfie camera which I can take a selfie with, and it turns out great. But then another part is I can literally use all these 3 cameras as my selfie camera. So this is the normal one. For some reason, if you want, telephoto one, then I can take that. And the best part is I have such a great viewing angle. And this is just so amazing. Having your main cameras as your selfie cameras can do wonders. Let's talk about these 3 cameras to the back. These are 3 12 megapixel cameras, one wide, one ultra wide and one telephoto. Wide and telephoto being optically stabilized. These cameras shoot amazing pictures, natural, contrasty and with great dynamic range. You won't really go wrong with these pictures. I would have actually preferred the S21 Ultra camera over here, but then I don't think they would have been able to make it as thin and light. So my conclusion is that this clearly looks like an enthusiast smartphone for enthusiast people with big pockets, because not everyone can spare 1.5 lakhs. And if you're ready to do that, then you can't go wrong with this, and you won't clearly be disappointed, because this is the best and fastest folding phone out there. But then I would actually suggest you to buy a Z Flip 3 rather than buying a Z Fold 3, because that comes closer to an actual smartphone and also is priced close to an actual flagship. So I would personally recommend you buying a Z Flip 3 over Z Fold 3 for people who are actually entering into a folding world. With this, I fold today's video. Okay, I did not mean it. Do let me know in the comments below which phone do you actually prefer, Z Fold 3 or the Z Flip 3. And if you enjoyed watching this video, please subscribe to my channel, like it and share it with your friends. It would mean the world to me. Till then, stay home, stay safe. See you in the next one.